Hi, in this video I'm going to instruct you how to add and subtract radicals. It's a little bit more complex than multiplying and dividing because certain criteria have to take place. First of all, let's look at this example. We have 2 times the square root of 7 plus 4 times the square root of 7. These are considered like radicals because they are the same. It's kind of like if you had 2x plus 4x. These are like terms, and we know this is going to equal 6x. We can even take it a step further, and we can have just maybe 4 apples and then 3 more apples. And when we put these together, we have 7 apples. So it's that whole concept. In order to combine, you must be the same kind. And so this first term tells you how many. The radical tells you what kind. How many, what kind. And as long as the what kinds are the same, then you can combine them. So in this example, we would have 6 times the square root of 7. What we couldn't do is we could not take something like the square root of 10 minus the square root of 5 because they're not like radicals. This tells me how many, and I have what kind, the square root of 10. How many, 1, what kind, the square root of 5. And so again, in order to combine, you must be the same kind. Now, you might get a problem where it looks like you can't add them together, but upon a closer look, you can see that this can be simplified. And when you simplify this, it's going to be 4 times 2. The square root of 4 is 2. So we're going to have that 2 times the square root of 2 plus 3 times the square root of 2. And now we can add these together because they're the same kind. So now let's go on and look at another example. In this example, we have minus the square root of 8 minus square root of 2, or yes, minus square root of 2. And again, at first glance, it looks like you cannot combine these. But if we take that 8 again, and we just did this in the previous example, if we take that 8 and break it down into its simplified components, we get negative square root of 4 times the square root of 2 minus the square root of 2. And that gives us negative 2 square root of 2 minus, I'm going to put a 1 there, square root of 2. And now you can see that they are the same kind, and when we combine them together, we're going to get a negative 3 times the square root of 2, because that negative minus that 1 equals a negative 3. Notice this number does not change. So let's look at another example. This time we have the cube root of 16 minus the cube root of 2. Once again, we cannot subtract these in this form. So what we can do, though, is we can take a look at that 16, and it does have a perfect cube in it. And that perfect cubed is 8. And we know 8 can be written as 2 cubed. And what we have left over is an extra 2. And then we have the cube root of 2 here. And again, if you want to split this up, you can split up this radical to 2 cubed times the cube root of 2 minus the cube root of 2. And this we know simplifies this 3 and this 3 that cancel each other out. So that gives me negative 2 times the cube root of 2 minus 1. I'm going to put that 1 there because it's implied. Minus 1 times the cube root of 2. So again, looking at this, we can see in order to combine, we must be the same kind. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3 times the cube root of 2. Let's look at a few more examples. Pretty much the same here, maybe a reversal in the numbers. 16, once again, can break down into 2 times the cube root of 2. And now again, we have negative 1 minus 2. So that gives us a negative 3 times the cube root of 2. And finally, you can even go as far as fourth roots here. Let's break that 32 down into some primes and pull it over here in the sandbox, so to speak. And look at some factors of this. So this gives us 4 and 8 and 4 and 2. And of course, as we continue to break this down, we see that 32 is actually 2 to the 5th. So I can write that as the 4th root of 2 to the 4th times 4, or excuse me, times 2 again, because we're trying to break this up into groups of 4, minus the 4th root of 2. And again, I can now split this up, or just simply take the 4th root of 2 to the 4th, which is 2, and I have that extra 2 left over. And now it's just 2 minus 1, and that gives me 1 times the 4th root of 2. And that's my answer. And that concludes this video. And we'll see you tomorrow in class. Make sure that you clock in on Moodle and to get your credit. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.